सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji, through his disciples, is giving different facets of a Jivan Mukta. We had seen in the 18th verse what is the carefreeness of a Jivan Mukta. With minimal things, minimal possessions, he is able to revel in that bliss. Sura mandirataru moola nivasaha. To live, he has very minimal things. Shayya bhutalam ajinam vasaha. To sleep, he has only the ground. This verse, it is said, is written by Sureshwaracharya ji. Means he is telling out of his own anubhava. It is not that he has heard somewhere and he is telling all of us this. He says, Sarva parigraha bhoga tyagaha. Kasya sukham na karoti viragaha. Who is there in this world to whom vairagya doesn't give joy? Who is there in this world to whom vairagya doesn't give joy? The way to look at this is, our true identity is Shuddha Chaitanya. In that, whatever we have added as a layer, starting from this mind, starting from this body, assuming that we are this individual, assuming that we are this person, so many other things we start calling as mine. One part is called as aham, another is called as mama. Bhagwan Krishna says, entire Bhagavad Gita is to remove this notion. Aham in erroneous things, which is this body and mind, and mama in the world outside, assuming ourselves to be this body and mind. The one in whom this knot is opened, the one in whom this error is resolved, error is removed, that person is this jnani who is reveling. Outer things, whether they are there, outer things, if they are not there, as far as his contentment is concerned, there is no difference to his contentment. Great state, we can at least appreciate, what they are doing, where they are. Next verse also was reveling of that jnani, yogaratova bhogaratova. We said for a sadhaka, this verse also we had seen, right? We started with that. Okay, let us chant. Yogaratova bhogaratova bhogaratova sangaratova sangavihinah brahmani ramate chittam nandati nandati nandatyeva. Krishnashtami day, we have a chant that we sing generally when Bhagwan Krishna's Janma happens. Nanda ke ghar ananda bhayo Jai Kanaiya Lalaki. Hathi Ghoda Palaki, Jai Kanaiya Lalaki. Means Bhagwan Krishna is Ananda Swarupa. Bhagavan Krishna is Ananda Swarupa. That Ananda has taken a physical form and come in the home of Nanda Baba. So the one who can revel in that true Ananda, that is this Jnani, that is this Jivan Mukta. Ananda word comes from the same root. Nanda means to revel. Nandati, Nandati, Nandati eva. One who is reveling in the right thing, in the right way. So A upasarga gets added to it. So Nanda becomes Ananda. One who is reveling in that absolute bliss, that is this Jivan Mukta. In sadhana state, what was a very difficult journey for him, something where he had to be very, very alert. Stay away from bhoga, stay close to yoga. Stay away from sangha, stay closer to asanga. Means don't get too involved in anything such that your mind gets carried away. That was Gurudev's instruction. In Narada Bhakti Sutra, he mentions this. If you are involved in any conversation which you feel is not valuable to you, he would say, nod your head in any direction. Nod your head in any direction and very quickly come out of it. And this you will notice if you are in a social gathering. Once you become sadhaka, to social gathering, I'm talking at work and other places, happy hour, if you go there. You feel so pressured to talk. Because everybody is talking, you feel you also have to talk. And the topics are such, you don't feel like talking. So that is the struggle in the beginning. And he does whatever best he can in sadhana phase. But if somebody is a jnani, he says that jnani is very comfortable in both waters. As a sadhaka, when he stayed away from that discussion, from that talk, now as a siddha, he sees no difference between that kind of involvement and staying in solitude. That is the meaning of that line, Sangarato va Sangha Vihinaha. Sangarata means heavily involved in vyavahara, heavily involved in transactional world. Sangha Vihinaha means by himself in solitude. Neither does solitude increase his jnana nishtha, nor does vyavahara decrease his jnana nishtha. That is the beauty, of a jnani. If you read Gurudev's letters, there are so many topics that he discusses that you wonder, when did Gurudev read all these books? When he's talking to a youngster, he'll have some novel, he'll have some other topics which that youngster will be thinking about. That discussion doesn't have any impact on his knowledge. It doesn't make him come down. And really speaking, this is the state which we are striving for. If one is unable to accomplish this, then Vedanta will in some way make us alienated from the society. In the sense, there are few places that we cannot just walk away from. In particular, if it is a family setting, where somebody in the family wants to do something, and we cannot just say, well, I am a sadhaka now, I will not come along, or I will not do this. At that time, we should remember what is the nature of a jnani. Sangarataha or Sangha Vihinaha. Without himself getting affected, he is still able to stay there unaffected. That is one nature of a jnani. Nature of jnani. Or the jnani, sometimes you don't know if it's English or Samskrita. Nature of jnani. Yasya brahmani ramate chittam. It is not a sadhana that he is doing because his mind has understood the nature of the actionless self, which doesn't become better by solitude, nor does it get affected by action. His mind always reveling in that truth, yasya brahmani ramate chittam, that person rejoices everywhere. That is this verse. And the closest example we can find for this is an actor playing a role on stage. How a Jivan Mukta lives is just like that actor who is playing a role on stage. They will get into the character, play all the right emotions, say all the right dialogues, but internally they will know, I am not this. And we should say the right dialogues. Whatever is our dialogue, only that we should say. There was some Swamiji who was saying, Ram Leela was going on, and the person who was playing Ravana's role knew Rama's dialogue also. And Rama would forget his line now and then. He said, this is Thanksgiving skit. It happens sometimes. So Ravana was telling Rama's dialogues in between. He says, even if you know, don't say it. Whatever is your dialogue, stick to it. Means in a given situation, our response to that situation will be based on our role. The way we speak to spouse is not the same way we speak with children. Right? Both of that is different based on the position, the situation, and what is demanded from us. And comfort in doing all of that, not expecting anything to change. That is this Jivan Mukta. Yasya brahmani ramate chittam nandati 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 eva. Sometimes when you discuss something in first class, right, the hangover carries in the second class also. Right? We discussed this topic in the Bhagavad Gita class. Who is a jnani? 2 verses. One jnani was somebody who was heavily into transactions. Another jnani was totally withdrawn in solitude. So Bhagavan had given indicators. So one who is more involved in transaction, what becomes more important for him is not to insist anything. For a sadhaka in particular, we are not striving for a perfect world. The whole point of becoming a sadhaka was to know imperfection in the world. In and through sadhana, if we making world perfect as our goal, means we have missed the boat. So the main focus is to abide in that Chaitanya. In that, whatever else is happening, there he says, I have to do whatever I have to do. Yesterday was Gita Jayanti. Today see which verse we are going to reflect upon. 20th verse. Bhagavad Gita kinchita dhita Ganga jala lava kanika pita Sakruda piyena murari samarcha sadhanas for a happy life. 3 sadhanas for a happy family. 3 sadhanas, really speaking, for a happy society. In our Sanatana Dharma is so beautiful. The main point of happiness is not society directly to begin with. Means if you say we need a healthy society, we cannot start directly from changing people from the top. That everybody should be perfect, then society will be perfect. Nor is it more individual focused. Individual focused means self-centered approach towards anything. The main standing point, the main unit of a healthy society is a healthy family. If family can be healthy, means emotionally, in all ways. The individual's happiness is already taken care of. If family is healthy, society's happiness is also taken care of. So the building block becomes healthy family. So in a healthy family, what is it that we should have as sadhana so that we can be happy in life? It is that the first thing is some satsang. Some satsang should be there by which all of us are getting the right perspectives. The best place for satsang, which text to study? There are so many texts. Say Bhagavad Gita, Kinchit Adita. Study Mother Bhagavad Gita, 700 verses. Which chapter should I start with? Which chapter should I study? I said, don't worry. Hold on to at least one teaching from Bhagavad Gita. Hold on to at least one teaching and make it as your teaching. Means teaching which has spoken to me, and I will put forth my effort to live by that teaching. I had read this story in the life of Mahatma Gandhi ji, that first time when he got inspired to read Bhagavad Gita, he went to a teacher. Went to first class, but after that for 2 months he was not to be seen. So the teacher sent somebody to say, where did he go? Only one class he came. And Gandhiji said, I am practicing what I heard. Means unless I perfect what I have heard in my first class, what is the point in learning more? Now don't give that example. For the next session, okay? Take it in the right spirit. Meaning we have heard Bhagavad Gita so many times. And Bhagwan time and again gives us so many instructions. Few examples are, he says, you think of me, your well-being is my responsibility. Right? One who can think of Bhagwan exclusively. Bhagwan says, your Yogakshema is my responsibility. Now the question should be, am I thinking of Bhagwan exclusively? At least for a short time, if not for the whole day. Or am I thinking about several things? In addition to that, sometimes thought of Bhagwan comes. Now that one teaching, if somebody is able to hold on to, that is this line, Bhagavad Gita, Kinchid Adita. Adita doesn't only mean reading it. Reading is the first step. But amongst all the teachings, which teaching has really spoken to us? Somewhere Bhagwan says, don't look down upon yourself. Never have this self-doubt. Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing enough? Is there anything I'm missing out? Means don't become so self-critical that your mind is always stuck in those things. Which is this verse? Uddharet atmana atmanam, na atmanam avasadayet. Means through your intellect, lift the mind. Don't have this mind go always in this self-doubt that am I doing the right thing? Am I going in the right direction? Now this is for somebody who is already walking on the path of dharma. This doubt can be very helpful if you are tamasic, if you are having some wrong habits in life. But we know that in spite of doing everything, whatever dharma is telling, in spite of being on the right path, still there is some low self-esteem sometimes in a sadhaka. That part, Bhagwan says, drop it. Now that facet, just holding on to that one teaching. If Bhagwan is saying, what is there to think otherwise? One who is able to do it in that way, that is the sadhaka. Bhagavad Gita, Kinchit Adhita. Now there are several verses. Different ideas are there, different topics are there. So we should hold on to whichever one has spoken to us. You know, when we did our online Yajna 2020, Puja Guruji had spoken at the end. Guruji's message was, And the question to him was, what is that one takeaway message from Bhagavad Gita? Guruji said, we are very fond of collecting these messages. Means we have collected so many and we are constantly collecting new. He said, you pick one thing and hold on to it. Whichever message has spoken to us, just hold on to one verse, one idea. That itself can bring about great wonders. Okay. Did you all hear that message or no? Yes, right? Did you all try to do it? We can do it now. We can do it now. Gita Jayanti, this is the most auspicious thing to do. In addition to all other practices, listening to what Mother Bhagavad Gita is telling us. Something she must have spoken which has connected with us, making that as our anchor. There is a verse in Gita Dhyanam, Ambat Tvam Anusandadhami, Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini. Bhavadveshini means mother cannot see her child suffering. Bhava means samsara. All the erroneous ideas that we have, all the wrong convictions that we have, that is this bhava. The one who removes this bhava is the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. And beauty is, mother picks up a child in any condition. She will not say, first you clean and then you come. So Bhagavad Gita is like that. No matter where we are, what position we are in right now. She says, if you come to me, you will find something that we can take away. That is the beauty of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, Kinchid Aditha. Next one is Ganga Jalalava Kanika Pita. The one who is having the Shraddha in life, one who has firm faith in life. That is the second sadhana for healthy life, happy life, but also happy family. See, somebody can see Gangaji and say it is H2O, just water flowing. What is so great? At the most, they'll say, let us do white water rafting. And you'll be surprised to see how many outlets are there for white water rafting in Gangaji. So it is not going into Gangaji which gives the outcome. It is the Shraddha with which we go. If somebody takes a dip in Gangaji with Shraddha and says, if I have taken a dip, I am not the same person as before. So the main quality there is faith. Main quality there is Shraddha. Ganga Jalalava Kanika Pita. Sakrudapi Yena Murari Samarcha. Third sadhana is one who has really remembered the Lord with intensity. Even once if somebody is able to turn their mind towards the Lord with intensity, Yamacharya doesn't even talk about them. Kriyate tasya yamena na charcha. It is said Brahmaji has delivery list. Yamacharya has pickup list. From his list, that person's name is deleted. Meaning what? There is no fear of death for that person. But we know that our fear is not only fear of death. It is considered to be one of the greatest fears. There is so much of other samsara in and through our everyday life. So somebody who is able to hold on to one teaching of Bhagavad Gita, have Shraddha in life, have faith in life, and remembers the Lord with intensity, that person is free from fear. How intense should our remembrance be? There is a beautiful incident in the life of Eknathji Maharaj. He was a saint in Maharashtra, and he was doing Ganga Sagara Gamanam. Means he took water from Varanasi all the way down to Rameshwaram, take the sand again from Rameshwaram, bring it back to Varanasi. Those days, no flight. So you have to walk all the way from Varanasi to Rameshwaram. And you imagine, if you are walking, how much water can you carry? Probably just a tumbler, kamandalo, something only that much. Now, 3/4 journey was done, almost about to reach Rameshwaram. In those days, they would go for a pilgrimage in a group. For safety reasons, everything was there. They would go in a group. And right when he was about to reach, he sees a buffalo, which is dying out of thirst and rolling on the ground. Scorching heat, summertime, scorching heat. Other pilgrims who are there, they just walk away. They just look at that buffalo, might have some compassion, pity, they walk away. And Ekdanji Maharaj takes his kamandalu and gives water to that buffalo, to that donkey. Others ask, your Vratabhanga happened. Means you brought this water all the way you walked, unless you offer it there, you will not get punya of this. He says, my Bhagwan Rameshwara who is in Rameshwaram, I see him in this donkey. And it is said, Bhagwan gives him darshan in that form. And all others who had gone to Rameshwaram to seek Bhagwan's darshan, they were deprived of this. The main thing is, saint's life just tells us how we should remember the Lord. Kriyate tasya yamena charcha, the previous one is important. Sakrudapi yena murari samarcha. Murari means Bhagwan, Bhagwan Krishna, the one who defeated Mura Asura. Mura Asura had a boon, or he had asked for a boon, that he will not be killed in a battle. He cannot be killed by any action. Whenever Bhagwan gives such a boon, or Brahmaji gives such a boon, Bhagwan finds ways. Okay? But the symbolic meaning of that is, Mura is our ahankara. This ego who is there, that ego cannot be killed through any action. Fearlessness in true sense is only when this ahankara is removed. True fearlessness is when this individuality is removed, one is able to abide in that Chaitanya. Bhagwan Raman Maharshi ji gives the etymology of Mrityunjaya. Mrityunjaya in Saddarshanam. Aham matihi mrityuh apaiti nityam. Means who is Mrityunjaya? Mrityunjaya is the one who takes this aham away. This ahankara he takes away. What remains is that eternal, non-perishing, pure consciousness. Where is the fear of death in that consciousness? He says this is Mrityunjaya. That is the same meaning as Murari. One, through his grace, we can come out of this finitude. See, finitude, we should not feel it's a technical word. Whole samsara is rooted in this finitude. The moment we consider ourselves as this person, we cannot save ourselves from ragadvesha. Something will be dear to us, something we will start hating. Letting go of this ahankara, letting go of this individuality is the main solution. How will we go there? That is the prayer. Sakrudapi yena murari samarcha. Remembering the Lord at least once intensely, rest everything he takes care of. So this verse looks very innocent actually. Sakrudapi yena murari samarcha kriyate tasya yamena na charcha. So one yamena na charcha you can say, Lord Yama doesn't talk about that person, or he becomes fearless about death. But true fearlessness comes when we are abiding in our own swarupa. And the obstacle there is ahankara. Mura is the obstacle. Murari will come and remove that mura through knowledge. Now somebody says, Bhagwan, all these three sadhanas are very difficult. Bhagavad Gita means I'll have to go to a class, I'll have to study Sanskrit, I'll have to read something. And my ability to sit is not great. Whenever I sit, mind wanders. See, long time you must have spent just getting used to sitting for 1 hour. True or not? At least that is how our journey was. Means it takes a long time to appreciate why are we sitting here. Versus if somebody says, let us do something at this time, let us have some activity-based learning. He said, Jnanam cannot have activity, that is the main point. Karma Yoga can have activity, but Jnanam is by getting clear perspective. So somebody says Bhagavad Gita and all is not my cup of tea. Ganga Jala Lava Kanika Pitaha, he says faith is also not that great. I still feel Ganga Ji is H2O. Third one is remembering the Lord. My Shraddha in Bhagwan is also not so great. I cannot do study. I cannot have faith. I cannot turn my mind towards the Lord. So Bhagwan asks, can you cry? Can you cry? He says, yes, I can cry. So cry for the Lord. Next verse is a cry of a mumukshu. One who has tried many things, one who has gone through life, and really he is surrendering to the Lord. So what is the cry of a mumukshu? That is this verse. See verse number 21. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam, iha samsare bahudustare, krupaya pare pahi murare. For Bhagwan Shiva, when we say Har Har Namah Parvati Pataye, when you say Har Har Mahadev, sometimes you lift both hands. Children will ask, why do I lift both hands? Why do we need to lift both hands? It's a child crying out to mother. It is a sadhaka crying out to Bhagwan. On my own, if I try to come out of samsara, time and again I get deluded that I can handle my samsara on my own. Whichever samsara it is, whichever difficulty it is, that is one glimpse or that is one trick of Maya. When things are very good, everything is going well, it gives this thought, oh, samsara, I can handle it. Why do I need Bhagavan? So that sadhaka is praying, Bhagavan, I have seen my life. The only way I can come out of this samsara is Bhagwan has to come and lift us up. This is his promise also. Tesham aham samuddharta mrityu samsara sagarat. I will pull that person up even if he doesn't like. That is the clause of being a devotee. If you become a devotee, even if you don't like, Bhagwan says, I will pull you up. But here, he is seeking something very different. This sadhaka has realized the limitations of rebirth. You can sit there, You don't. You can sit behind only. Find a chair. Yes, if you come late, you have to sit behind. Good. This sadhaka is somebody who has seen samsara and is not having any erroneous ideas about samsara. What is this samsara? He says, having a physical body itself is samsara. The first line is that, Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam. Time and again we are born, time and again we perish, and we have to start garbhavasa again. It takes a long time to even realize why punarjanma is a bondage. Generally, do we think in that way? We think bondage is some person, bondage is some particular event, bondage is some difficulty at work. He says bondage is the very fact that we have a human body or any physical body. And imagine if you have to do this same journey again. Bhagavan says, not seeing birth as bondage is one aparadha. Aparadha means an error. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji has written one whole stotram called as Shiva Aparadha Kshamapana Stotram. And his whole prayer there is, Bhagavan, I forgot to see this fact that having a physical body itself is a bondage. When everything is good, it doesn't look like it. The moment body starts giving sorrow, that is when we start realizing it is bondage. In and through this body, there is different sorrow coming, that's a different matter. But very fact that this human body is taken up, that itself is bondage. Think about it this way. Rebirth means what, you know? Whatever we have done in life till now, everything we'll have to do again. Starting from schooling. Even that thought sometimes gives, shivers. That you have to go back again to school, do all your 12th grade, 10th grade. That too, if you are lucky, if you get human body. If you are in a bird body or some other sharira, you say wait for that time until that prarabdha is exhausted, then get a human body. When we take a short break from our regular study, we know how quickly we fall back into our old habits. Imagine taking break from human birth for few lives. How much we can fall back on our adhyatma samskaras. This sadhaka sometimes realizes that even to come to this point of studying Bhajagovindam, studying Bhagavad Gita, if we really are seeking something higher in life, he says we have already traveled a long journey. We should be very alert not to repeat the whole cycle again. Our Swamiji would give a very beautiful example of a roller coaster ride. He would say, if you paid a lot of money to enter into a roller coaster, how do they make you sit? They put a harness, right? The metal one and everything, means you can't move. And the moment that roller coaster starts, there is an intern on that day who messes up the controls. So you try to go on 70 miles per hour, it goes on 170 miles per hour. Hair is flying, you are feeling like vomiting, you start vomiting, whole thing upside down, everything happens. Then finally after 2 minutes, which seemed like 20 hours, you suddenly stop. It comes to a stop. And then they start announcing, we sincerely apologize for this inconvenience. Because you had to go through all this, we are offering you a free ticket. What will that person say? Not even a free ride. Even if you pay me for going on a ride, I still don't want it. That is the cry of a mumukshu. But Mahatmas, they are very direct sometimes. There was one person, one disciple, He came to one Mahatmaji and he said, and this Mahatmaji knew that person. Outside he was doing all kinds of things. But he would come and pray to him and surrender and everything. He came and said, Mahatmaji, please bless me in such a way that I don't have punarjanma. Please bless me so that I don't have punarjanma. And you know what he said? Bhaiya lag raha hai tayari usi ki kar rahe ho. Looks like you are preparing exactly for that. It was very precise. When I heard it the first time, I said, that is actually our story. If you just look at how we are planning our life, how we are living through life, if you are not alert, that becomes exactly a preparation for this punarjanma. But this sadhaka is praying sincerely to Bhagavan that even this garbhavasa and having that whole cycle done again, I don't want to repeat that cycle. Iha samsare bahudustare. Means he has understood the samsara to be very difficult to cross over. Bahudustare means that. Puja Gurudev would say, our samsara is like walking in the stomach of a shark. Meaning it has already swallowed us. And slowly it is swallowing us, coated, booted and suited. We think we are going to office with a bag, nice dress is there, everything is there. But we will not know when it is fully going to swallow us. And the main samsara is our mind. Bhagwan Shankaracharya says, this person is like a pumpkin which is floating in water. Vivek Chudamani, he says this. Nimajjon majjayam, vishaya vishapure. This water which is there is all the vishayas which are encircling that person and is going up and down like a pumpkin. Means sometimes mind is showing one color, sometimes it is showing another color. And is dancing just according to that mind. This samsara, he feels he has to come out of it. The beauty of Vedanta is, Vedanta will tell us, samsara is never outside. Samsara is never outside. He says it begins, the root cause of course is duality. Giving reality to duality is the first step of samsara. On top of that, is our mind playing different roles. So after doing several years of sadhana, after studying Vedanta for several years, even if we can appreciate this point, our purpose of studying Vedanta is fulfilled. What is the point? That samsara is never outside, samsara is in our drishti. Because remember, ajnani and jnani both are staying in the same world. It is not that jnani has a different place and ajnani has a different world. But in one person there is samsara, another there is no samsara. This is the root question of Avadhuta Gita. That king goes to Avadhuta, who is sitting so calmly in that forest. He says, I feel like I am in the midst of forest fire, where everything is burning so much. So much of agitation is there. So many other things are there. What is that thing because of which you are not unaffected or you are not affected by it? And then that Avadhuta says, I have 24 gurus. Meaning what? Every teaching is, I have worked upon myself. That is another facet of Avadhuta Gita. No teaching is there which says, start from the world. The very Shastra that we study is called as Adhyatma Shastra. So Adhyatma Shastra will start with Aham only. Adhyatma means Aham. Adhibhuta means outside. So that is the beauty. That samsara he is trying to cross over. Freedom from this sorrow. Iha samsare bahudustare krupaya pare pahi murare. Means sincerely there is a cry in his heart that Bhagwan, please take me across this samsara. I have danced sufficiently to the tunes of my mind. Now whenever we think of Puja Gurudev, how do we think of him? Somebody who is in bhakti or somebody who is in jnanam? We say 500 plus jnana yajnas. The commentary Gurudev has written is so beautiful. You will get to see the devotee in such a saint. For the next few minutes, all of us will close our eyes, okay? And I want one volunteer to come and read a small passage from this commentary. You just have to read it. One volunteer. Come. Bring your book also. Take some book. Read it slowly. All of us are just going to close our eyes and see what is Gurudev telling us in this verse. So you start from 83, from here. Okay? And then pause here.
Sorry,
83.
Page 83.
Start from here. Yes. Next page, you stop at that top verse. There. Use the mic. You can close your eyes and read slowly, huh? No rush.
O destroyer of Mura, Lord Krishna, save me. Help me, please, is the ardent prayer unto him, and seeking his feet of love is the only way out. And even here, what right have I, the slave of my own passions, the non-believer all these years, to seek his help now? True, I have no faith to meet thee, O Lord. I have nothing to offer thee except my own tears. I have nothing to claim for myself except the fatigue of my indulgence, the stink of my selfish acts, the sweat of my passions, and the cords of my attachments. In fact, I don't deserve to be saved. Yet, Lord, I am tired, beaten out completely, exhausted thoroughly, repentant fully, helpless wholly. I surrender myself to thee and thy grace. I claim a hearing and expect help from thee. Art not thou the ocean of kripa, of grace, of kindness, and of love? Art not the destroyer of the demon Mura? Won't thou, in thy kindness, take pity on me, and once more destroy the old enemy Mura in my bosom, the bundle of my own wretched vasanas?
Good. I don't think we need to elaborate on this prayer. It should just become our prayer. Okay. Next verse is an elaboration of how carefree this jnani lives. So every verse is one disciple writing. So they are in their inspiration. So there is no connection as such between verses. So this is about a jnani who is living a carefree life. That is this person, 22nd verse. Rathya charpata virachita kantha punya vivarajita pantha yogi yoga niyojita chitta ramate balonmattava deva Bhajagovindam Bhajagovindam ramate govindam bhajamudhamate. In our pledge, we have a statement, giving more than what we take. That is, this jnani takes minimum from the world and is inspired to give maximum. So minimum thinks, what does he need? Something to cover his body. Even there, he is taking only the minimum from the world. So whatever pieces of rags he finds on the street, Rathya means street, Charpata means rags. From that, he creates a godadi. You know godadi, what it? Generally they make of saris, old ones which are there. They'll put layers and then stitch it. It's not very warm, because Indian winter you don't need that kind of warmth, but it gives good warmth. So that is only something like that, but not made out of this good cloth. Patchwork quilt. Whatever rags he has, with that he is making godadi. That he wears and goes around on the street. Rathya charpata virachita kantha. Once I was sitting somewhere and one of her Swamiji was there. A youngster came and he was wearing that jeans, which had torn jeans which was there. And the Swamiji started reciting that verse. Ratya charpata. I didn't connect it until later, what was he trying to say? But this jnani is somebody who has this bhava. Minimum things he will take, whatever is available, with that he is content. Ratya charpata virachita kantha. But where is his mind? On what road is his mind walking? Punya vivarjita pantha. Means his mind is so elevated, intoxicated with that supreme knowledge. That supreme self, which is devoid of papa, which is devoid of punya. Punya and papa both belong to ahankara. Atma doesn't get punya by satkarma. Atma also doesn't get any papa. One whose mind is abiding in that Atma, that is this jnani. Mahatmas, they have very unique way of giving simple definitions. Okay. How will you define punya? Means technically we can define whatever is said in Shastra, which is our dharma, that is called as punya. Means whatever we do according to dharmic injunctions, that is called as punya. Or you can say, Bhagwan Vedvyasji says, doing good to others is punya. Paropakara punyaya papaya parapidanam. One Mahatmaji said, punya karma is that which we can confidently share with our revered people. Means if we have elders in the family or our guru, whichever action we can confidently share with them, that is punya karma. Whichever action we want to hide back, that is papa. See, such a precise definition, but it hits the point. But here this person is somebody who has gone beyond punya, gone beyond papa also. But the first line, we don't have to literally take it in that way. Means he is taking rags, and only the person who wears the clothes made of rags, that person is this jnani. Not in that way. Means his mind is such that he is very, very alert, that he is not taking more than what he is giving. There is one rishi, his name is Kanada Rishi. One who was the Pravartaka Acharya, the main Acharya of Vaisheshika Darshan. Whatever atomic theory is there in our Indian school of thought, the one who contributed the most to that theory. Anu, Paramanu, Dyad, Triyat, subatomic particles, they have already thought through what those things could be. His name is Kanada. Kanada means he would go to the granary after the rice has been cleaned and whatever has to be taken has been taken away. The broken husk piece which was there, that he would bring home and cook. So Kanam Atti iti Kanadaha. The one who ate those broken pieces of rice, that is Kanada. Meaning in his mind, this point is very clear. I should give more than what I take. We also heard a story in Chanakya's life. That evening time when he was the exchequer. He has a lamp that is burning and his son or somebody comes to talk to him. He blows off that lamp. He says, this lamp is from taxpayers' money. And what I am talking to you is non-official work. So I cannot use that lamp flame to talk to you. After we are done, again he lights it, continues his work. And that is the bhava they have inside, giving more than what we take. Then yogi yoga niyojita chittaha, whose mind is always connected with that absolute truth, with that knowledge. Ramate balon mattavadeva. Two examples are given. He revels like a child and he revels like an intoxicated person. Why child example? Means there are similarities between a child and a jnani. Have you seen two children quarreling with each other, fighting with each other? Suddenly you see them crying. Right now they were playing. Within a minute, they start crying. But within another minute, they start playing back again. And sometimes, two boys are quarreling. One boy will call his parent, second will call his parents. Both of them start arguing. These two have started playing again. Others are still doing that. Means jnani is somebody who can let go of things very quickly. Great ability, great sadhana. For a sadhaka like us, it will be something we should strive for. Morning class also we saw it. Jnani, it is an expression of knowledge. But for us, it is a sadhana. How quickly can we let go of things and again go back to what is our true nature? Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, everybody's true nature is goodness. There is nobody in this world who is otherwise. Bhagavan says that the raw material with which he has made us is goodness. So how quickly we can drop everything and go back to that, our true state. That is this balon mattavadeva. Balaka example is for that. Unmatta means intoxicated person. You will say, how will I know how an intoxicated person feels like? The similarity there is, the world that an intoxicated person sees, nobody else sees. You ask only them, Madhushala, the one who has gone inside and come out, what is it that you are seeing? He says, yes, his own world. Like that, Jnani's world is not available to any of us. What is there in his mind? How he is seeing at this world? He says he is reveling in that bliss like that intoxicated person. Puja Guruji in this verse, he says, the only way we can understand a Jnani is by gaining Jnanam, not by judging externally. Only when we appreciate what it is to be free from ahankara. What does it mean to be free from individuality? Only then a person can get a glimpse of Jnani. More analogies you all can think about. Why Balaka example is given, child example, and why intoxicated person example is given. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.